Hey guys, just wanted to give you all a quick update of where I'm at with my works in progress, including the knife that I'm doing for the Knife in the Hat project, as well as the one I'm making for my own personal use. Now what we're looking at here are the 4 blades I've shown in the last couple of videos. This is after heat treat and tempering, and basically after I've removed all the scale, or at least a majority of the scale. As you can see, there's a little bit left where the handles will go. That I'm not so much worried about, as it'll be covered and epoxied anyway. I may polish it up a little bit more. But where we're at here is after removing the scale and pretty much after touching up all the grinds and the plunge lines and any blemishes that I needed to take out from when I was prepping them for heat treat. And typically I do like to kind of save the final grindings and the final touch-up till after heat treat. I find that I have quite a bit of grinding left to do anyway after getting the scale and anything else off. And besides that, it gives me just a little bit more precision grinding that hardened steel rather than the soft steel. I find that I'm not taking off too much accidentally. It's kind of a little bit slower, and I can get a little bit more control using the hardened steel versus the annealed steel for grinding. You just have to keep in mind that it has been tempered, and keep your blade consistently cooled so that that temper doesn't get ruined or drawn out. But so far I'm real pleased with progress. Up until now I've just been using a 60 grit belt to kind of again touch up the grinds and the plunge lines. And sometimes I'll leave it at 60 grit and just put the handles on and polish everything up that way. Maybe even put it on a buffing wheel just a little bit, just to give a touch more shine to everything. But I think this time I'm actually going to take everything up to a 120 grit, both the flats here that the handle's going on, as well as the flat grinds. And I may even touch up the plunge lines just a hair more. One other thing I still have yet to do as well is to put the notches in just above my ricasso, which I do like to do on all my blades. I find that it helps in future maintenance when sharpening the blade. You're not ruining that ricasso, and I think it just sets the knife off a little bit more, makes it look a little bit nicer. But so far I'm extremely pleased with how all these blades are coming out. Like I said, I have a little bit left to touch up, maybe a little bit more polishing to do, and I may even take this flat grind up just a hair higher. You may notice a difference there. One's a full flat and one's just about a full flat, and this is normally just about how I do my flat grinds anyway. I do like to leave a little bit of the spine there just to kind of give a visual offset and make it a little bit more unique. That being said, I do like how these full flat grinds are turning out and how they're looking, and kind of having trouble deciding which way I prefer to grind. Probably just keep doing both just to mix it up, but so far I'm really liking how these larger neck knives are coming out, and very pleased as well with how these small ones came out. Got those rough spots touched up that you may have seen in my last video, and kind of even the plunge lines out there. Got those as symmetrical as I could get them, as you could see. Not too bad overall. And I got a pretty fine tip there, going to be some good utility. Good for plunge cuts and things like that. As I said, I'll touch it up a little bit more with a 120 and maybe even polish it up a little bit more after that. And then all that's left to do, again, is the notching above the ricasso. And then I'll need to put my maker's mark and my etches on the blades. And typically I'll just put my A. Riley 1095 on one side of the ricasso. And then I'm not sure where my maker's mark or my AR stamp will go, whether it will be on the corner of the flat or on the other side of the ricasso as well. Still kind of playing with those details, as well as the handle materials that I'm going to use. Now I'm definitely going to use the Tiger Stripe G10. I'm very excited about that. I'll use it for one or both of these. I'm not sure if I'll use it for these or if I'll use it for both of these. Maybe I'll do 3 knives and do something a little bit different for the 4th. These will probably all get stainless pins. Maybe I'll do brass on one depending on the micarta or the G10 I decide to use. And then one will have the black micarta pins with the tiger stripes. I think that'll give a pretty good contrast there and make for a really nice looking knife. Now as far as the one I'm going to use for personal carry and the one I'm going to give away to the knife and the hat project, I really haven't decided yet. To be honest, both of these knives, while very similar, are quite different, and they're going to come out quite differently with the hardware and how I do the handles and stuff. So I'm really not sure which one I'll give away. Maybe the micarta rotted one, or the pinned one rather, or maybe the stainless pin one. Still kind of thinking that through. Maybe I'll have to see which one appeals to me the most, or which one I can let go of the easiest. But we are making good progress. Just need to polish this up with the 120 grit a little more, get my etches on, and then I should be pretty much ready to epoxy and pin the handles in place and start shaping those. So very excited about that, very excited about using the Tiger Stripe G10 I have laying over there. Very anxious to see how that turns out, and once I get these all polished up and touched up just how I want them, I think we're going to have 4 really nice blades, and hopefully one will serve me well for some while, and the other will go to someone with the knife and the hat, serve them well. As for these two, again, they'll probably be up for sale. I'm still trying to decide how exactly I want to purpose these. May sell them, may hang on to them for a while. Really haven't decided yet. Then, of course, after that, some Kydex sheaths or some Conceal-X sheaths, whatever I have to use there. And these knives will pretty much be done. So essentially, I think the hardest part's over. Again, just a little bit more touch-up and then just some final detail and finishing work. And again, we'll be good to go. So far so good. Really couldn't be happier with how things are progressing. Although I wish I did have a little bit more time to devote to this, get these all knocked out, and maybe start on another project. But my full-time job's really kind of taken up the majority of the time there, as well as the time I want to spend with my family. So these are kind of on the back burner. Just taking my time, trying to do my best and not rush through anything. And so far I think it's paying off. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these little updates and kind of seeing the progress made. I know I'm really not showing much on how I make them. Maybe I'll try to do some more videos on that aspect in the future. Kind of film maybe a grinding process or a handle shaping, something along those lines. I do need to get that camera fired back up, start making some other videos. It's really just more of a matter of having time. But definitely something I want to do again, kind of walk through the process of a knife for you guys and show you how I do things. If you want to see how my first knife went, I believe that's on my old channel, Bass Thumpin' Twion, T-W-I-O-N. And kind of chop some stuff up, put that together. Maybe many of you have seen it, maybe not. If you're interested, check that out. Again, I may try to do that more in the future and maybe get a better video series put together now that I've gotten a little bit more experience and have kind of refined my process a little more. But anyway, I think I've talked long enough. That's the update. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely appreciate the views and appreciate any feedback I get. So have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later.